What's happening? This is the Tap In Podcast. We are live inside the Tap In studio. I got a special guest in the building, comedian extraordinaire. Are you from Dallas?
I'm born and raised in McKinney, Texas.
McKinney.
So outside of Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Comedian extraordinaire, Angelia Walker. What's happening? What's going on, mama?
What's up? How are you?
I'm good, man. Thank you for tapping in with us.
Thank you for having me. That's
Absolutely.
a blessing, man.
Absolutely, man. I always like to have comics on. One, because I feel like comics got a broader perspective on life. You know what I mean?
Different.
Yeah. How long you been doing comedy?
I started accidentally in 2005.
How you start accidentally?
So I didn't know anything about comedy. I was raising my mom's kids, taking care of my daughter, and I was working at a job. And a coworker was actually my boss. Said she was doing because I wrote poetry.
Oh,
She's
okay.
like, we're doing this little thing, with poetry and everything. We'd like you to come out and do one of your poems. I was like, okay, that's cool. I'll do that. Like maybe a couple of days before, she said, oh, we changed and it's a comedy contest. And I was like, I don't know anything about comedy. She's like, well, it's 3 minutes, and if you win, you get $100. And I was like, $100? All right. I mean, because it was everybody. It was the first time trying comedy. So went up there, talked about school, and I won. And then a week later, at the time, Nanette Lee was on K104, and she had Fat Tuesday. You know how they talk about the Fat Tuesday with Guy Torrey, well, they had one here in Dallas with Nanette Lee. And every other week she had that, and that week, after the week I did it, they were like, hey, you want to try Fat Tuesday out? And the second time I hit the stage was at Fat Tuesday.
Really?
And I was terrified. Yeah, it was a 3 minutes, like a 3 or 4 minute set, and I was so hype and nervous. I did a good job, and she talked about me on the radio next day, so that just kind of got the comedy bug, and I just kept going from there. So that was like actually my training. Was every other Tuesday I would go there, and that's like a live, real audience, not like the open mics. Well, open mics are like practicing, but this was like an open mic, but it was a live audience. And if they liked you, they loved you, and if they did not like you, they did not like you. So it was kind of like a test the fires type of thing. So that's kind of how I started.
Really?
Yeah.
And when did you decide, or when did it hit you like, dang, I'm a comedian? Like,
I don't think it's ever hit me.
Really?
Yeah, I just kept on. I kept going, and what's so crazy is I'm number 6 of 15 children, right? Yeah, my mother had 15 children, and of the 15, I was me. I didn't talk. I wasn't really funny.
what?
Yeah, and I even told my one sister, she's hilarious. I've even told her, I was like, I think you should do it. She's like, nah, I just like making a couple of people laugh. But my mom was funny in her own way, my grandfather. So we had laughter and love, at home. I never knew that it would, tap into something else. My grandfather was a pastor, but my granddad was hilarious. He was a very respectful man, and just his demeanor. But when he did something that was funny, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And very good, as a pastor, very good storyteller. So my comedy, I would consider myself to be like a storyteller comedian.
Those are the best comics.
You think so? Because
Yeah.
some people like one-liners, and I'm not really a one-liner type. I just base my comedy off my life.
See, I think the one-liners are good for a quick laugh.
Clever, yes.
They're good for that. But the storytelling is what hold people, and they live, because they can go back and tell those stories to their friends. You know what I mean? So
and people think I be lying, or I'm an embellisher. I'm
Mm-hmm.
embellished, but it happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the best story as far as comedy that I've ever heard is the Bernie Mac Milk and Cookies story.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole story. What's that? No, leave that off. Yeah. And I think that's the best, like, comedy story that everybody remember. You know what I mean? I've heard thousands of jokes.
But Milk and Cook,
Everybody,
that's the way you say it,
everybody remember that.
The main thing about that is that's from a very messed up situation. Like, his sister is on drugs, and he has to take the children, and how you can turn that into something funny. And these children got situations like this. They got some some trauma going on, and to turn that into humor is amazing.
Want me to spoil something for you?
What's up?
I heard his daughter said that story is not even true.
It's not even true. He just made that up completely.
Yes.
Wow, even
Yes.
better.
Yeah.
I bet that's. You don't think it wasn't like he heard somebody's life, or that's.
He may have heard somebody's life.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
But he turned it into his. But I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you can't make me believe that that's not a
Listen,
real.
I seen
not that
that
it's him, but that
I'm sure that's probably somebody's
life.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that. But I seen an interview where his daughter and then the girl who played his daughter on this TV show doing an interview, and everybody would go up to the girl who's playing his daughter on TV show and be like, how are those kids doing? And she be like, what kids? Like, everybody's fine. And then she said, and the daughter said that people will come up to her the same way, like, how the kids doing? Is everybody? And she had to like spoil it for people and be like, there is no kids. I'm sorry to tell you.
There are some kids. We just don't know. They weren't Bernie's niece and nephew. I'm telling you, that story feels too real.
But I think, like we were saying, the story of it is what we're holding on to. You know what I mean? And that's why I love storytelling comics.
And there's some stories that are not necessarily mine. I might have been different characters in the story. I might have been somebody, but it's still real, right?
Yeah.
But I love it. I love storytelling because you can always embellish, add more, take away, see what works, and I think that's the nature of our culture. Like I'm talking, like our African roots is storytellers. Mm-hmm. You know, they didn't have writings, so to be a storyteller and just keep that story going from generation to generation. That's real important.
Yeah, and so. What has been like your best performance where you was like, boy, if I don't get signed today, like, I killed them. Not
that happened to me.
What happened?
That I thought, like, I got a standing ovation on a tryout, and I didn't get picked.
Really?
Because it taught me a good lesson.
Was it like the Bay Area competition or
no?
what?
It was actually here. It was the Kevin Hart.
The Heart of the City.
Heart of the City with the Dallas one.
Really?
Yeah. And that night I was so hyped, and the crowd, it was electrifying. Like the minute I stepped on the stage, the crowd was with me, and it was my birthday. It was like I felt like all the signs was like, God, this is it. I'm feeling it. This is gonna be my moment. I'd already been doing comedy for over 10 years, and I was like, this is the moment. I know it. I feel it. And it was my birthday. I think I turned 40 because I'm about to be 51, so I turned 45. So it was just everything was all the cylinders were just hitting just right, and I got off right after when I was on the stage. I got a standing ovation, and out of everybody, I was the only person that had gotten a standing ovation that whole time. When I walked off the stage, comedian Black Ron, he came up to me. He's like, "That's how you do it." Like everybody was just like hyping me up. He went up there and killed it, did an amazing job, and I just wasn't what they wanted.
Really?
Yeah, and that's what I had to learn because at first.
So who was the judge? It was Joey Wells.
Who made it for Dallas?
No. Who was the judging of who made it? Or was it not even?
They didn't have. I think they recorded everybody and then they picked later. Like we were doing showcase. Like we actually had a show.
So you didn't know right after.
You never knew. So I think they told whoever, like, you would just get a call, and I never got the call.
Really?
And that messed with me a little bit. But I think it when you knock down, when you get up, it makes you stronger. So it made me stronger as far as it made me, because I did not understand that one, boy. Because I was like, well, and then it upset me because, like I said, I'm from a big family, right? So I've never been a favorite. I've always been the quiet, not the top one, the top kid. I had one sister. like, you know, there's a Traxter, there's an Audi, like all these kids I got to compete against. I was, you know, I be some people would come to be like, yeah, let me have, I want to take your son and teach him this. I want to take your daughter, teach. I'm like, I'm just sitting there with my mom. Don't nobody want to teach me nothing. Just sitting there waiting. I was never. So that is, I think that's an underlining. I think some people might feel that, you know, that's that little kid in you that like, yeah, I'm never gonna get picked. You know,
Really?
being picked, and that I think it brought back those feelings. Like, no matter how hard I tried and I gave my all, I did my best, and I put everything out on the table, and I still didn't get picked, and it messed with me because because to me I felt like there was no denying me that night. That night there was no denying me, and I was denied.
And so I'm just wondering if they didn't pick right there in the room, and you only seeing it on camera, they probably not seeing the energy in the room. Whoever is picking. You know what I mean?
You could feel the energy.
You
from
could
the
feel
camera.
it, really.
Yeah, like even the video, they gave me a clip of the like, because I went to critique myself, and when I tell you everything was just hitting, like the crowd was, they bought into everything I was saying, and you could see everybody standing up, and it wasn't about the performance. And I'm gonna tell you something. That's what I learned. Like, I've done comedy contests, and sometimes it's not about the talent; it's about what they're looking for. And if you're not what they're looking for, and at that time it just wasn't me. But like I said, it bothered me. And then I had all these people, ain't no way you didn't make, I had all these, and I'm thinking, some people were saying it, I think looking in hindsight, they were saying it because they really felt like I should. And some people, they were glad I didn't. You know, everybody not your friend.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody not your, so that part. So I had to just, in my mind, just tell myself, hey, pick yourself,
Now I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
Did everybody else telling you that, oh, ain't no way you should have did it, did that set expectations for you already, and then that was the letdown? Or was it, or what is it truly just?
It was truly just the fact that I just knew. When I tell you that night, this even Black Ron, I remember him. I don't know if but I remember him just saying like everybody was waiting to see it was gonna be Angela and who else. See what I'm saying? Like that's how good the set was, and even people called me next day. So but in my mind I was like, Angela, don't get too, because I never won. So I was like,
don't get too hyped.
Don't get too hyped. But then my little heart was like, you did it. Look, you did everything you supposed to do. Everything go. So that part of me was like so convinced. So when I didn't, I think I went back and asked. I said, well, because I'm a person like get better, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, so what was it that I could work on? What did I need to do to be better? And the person I asked, I said, just in hindsight, I just want to know for me, what could I have done better? What do I need to work on? And they basically said, nothing. You see what I'm saying? It was just, it just wasn't my time. And that's okay, because now looking back at it, it probably wasn't my time. There might have been parts of me mentally, in my family situation. At the time my son was 3. Maybe I wasn't ready to handle.
Do you remember who won?
Yeah.
Or who got picked?
Yes, Black Ron, Keelana Spiller, and Piper.
Oh, Piper. Yeah.
Piper.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, and that's a good combination. I mean, they're amazing artists. I just wanted it.
Yeah.
I wanted it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's and like I said, it just, and whoever did the picking, that's who they wanted, and so that's how you have to accept it. Because even in contests, I've been in contests, and and that started bothering me. Like, I was literally in contests, killing contests, and I'd get second, or I'd get third, or I never got first. And then some of them was like, well, you were never supposed to win that one. They already had some contests. They already know who they want.
Listen,
they know the type of energy, or then they'll give me like, well, you're not necessarily mainstream. I don't know what that means, because I guess I don't, so all of that.
What competitions have you done?
I'm tired of competitions. I did win one called Wild Out, and then I ended up I opened for Genuine and 357 and Tyrese. So that was pretty cool.
Okay.
That was a couple, and but to even though when I won that, I wasn't even supposed to be in the contest. So when I won that was a fluke. So you see what I'm saying? So like sometimes God will put stuff on you, and I wasn't even supposed to be in that contest. And then I ended up the one time it was like audience participation, right? Votes or whatever. And there was one dude, he had brought, I didn't bring really nobody, but he had brought all the people, so he won. But I got the wild card. So I had to come back to another show and do the wild card.
What competition was that?
It was called
Is it Dallas?
It was
based?
a Dallas. It was like a little Dallas-based competition.
Oh, okay.
And they were but it was cool, and it was out at Coach's Corner, and so I was over here. And I did not plan to win it. Or I had no expectation. Because when I lost, but they said, well, you got the wild card. I won the wild card. So basically, everybody else that had been in the competition had weeks off. I was at that place every week because when I first did it, then the wild card. Then I had to come back the next week to get the wild card. Then I had to come back, do a semifinal contest. Then it was for like all the people that won the rounds previously, we all came and competed, and and then it was just me, and it was like a head to head with me and Dexter Givens, who I love to death, and I won.
Really?
I won. I wanted it so bad because it was like and it was a little contest, but that's who wanted me. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So I used to get upset about it, but it ain't no point.
Yeah, there's no point with competition. I remember doing the Bay Area competition, right? I did okay. I was only probably like 4 or 5 years in then, you know what I mean? So I was totally unexperienced with competition, whatever. I remember seeing David Arnold, RFP to David Arnold.
Oh, yeah, amazing.
David Arnold killed the Bay Area. I'm talking about standing old, people was running around yelling, and he walked off. I don't know if you know David. He walked off cocky as hell, like shit. I smoked this goddamn competition. When I tell you at the end, when they didn't call his name as even like 1, 2, 3 or run up or whatever it was, David was so pissed. He was so pissed, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this some bull."
Do you see what I'm saying? So
I was like, "Yeah, this some bull."
Yeah.
Because I was like, "There's no way." Because Bay Area, it was like I think it was like over 2 days, and you just had to win your round or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave killed it. I still remember the joke. He killed it, and they didn't pick him. I was like, okay.
So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and even with Dave, and so think about David Arnold, like you said, R.I.P. But this cat was a slow burn.
Yeah,
he was a slow burn. Like people and once he got to his pinnacle, and people finally realized who he was, and all the cylinders were opened up, just working. And unfortunately, he had a heart attack, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
So
but he was at the peak, but he was a slow burn. Like people didn't know who he was. They wanted. It's so crazy. Like people that are like that, people would be like, "Where you been? I ain't never." And you like, "I've been here, waiting." And he just like him. He been there.
Yeah.
And so, but also too, timing perfect, stage presence perfect. So if he had gotten that at the point maybe 5 years prior, it might have not have hit the way it hit because his comedy was at that point in time perfection.
Yeah.
And he's amazing storyteller, and his energy and feeding off the audience.
Yeah.
So good, but he had to develop that.
Yeah.
So same thing. I'm just gonna tell myself I'm a slow burn.
Yeah. And after that experience and watching how Dave killed, like I never took competitions really that serious after that.
Exactly.
Because I'm just like, I just want people to just know who I am and just see me.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, there was a bunch of comedy competition I did in LA. I did the Shaq All-Star comedy competition that they did in Orlando. I did a couple of competitions, but I never really took them serious after I seen what they did to David.
Yeah, and like I said, sometimes it's not the talent; it's what they're looking for. And it has nothing to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you're not what they're looking for. They might be looking for, the energy of that year. Sometimes, the energy of that year is women empowerment. So they're looking for a woman. They're looking at a particular type of woman. They might be looking for an Asian woman. They might be so it's that thing that they're looking for. It's not you.
You know, I think you would kill on,
What?
and it's a competition, but it's not really a competition on Kill Tony.
Everybody keeps telling me that.
I think you would kill.
I think I
on
would
it.
try to fight these people because based on it's not bad. Like no, okay.
I think
Maybe I should try it.
yeah, and I think because it's only 1 minute, you only got to perform 1 minute, and your 1 minute just got to be okay. But your interview with him afterwards, if you kill on that interview, you good. You good. I think you would be dope on there because one, it's majority white audience. You know what I mean? But I think from just interacting with you, you so authentic. I think that's what they'll resonate with.
Yeah, and I think that's what happens with my comedy and the fact that like they always try to pinhole me and say, well, you know, it's a black woman. We looking for. I could do a white audience. I could do it. I've done it all Indian audience. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't matter because I'm a mother, so mothers understand where I'm coming from as a mother. You know, so it's the genuine thing, that one thing that it is universal. So sometimes, like when people are trying to pinhole you and tell you what you are, you gotta show them yourself.
I think you would do
I
good
might
on
need to try that.
Kill Tony. It's down there, Austin. You know what I'm saying? The only thing
Austin is so weird, and
What you mean weird?
Their comedy style, like they go for shock and dark, and you know, they just try to say the most craziest things, like about, you know, then they'll be like, yeah, my booty hole's itching right now. What? Like they'll just say off the wall stuff that doesn't make any sense, and it's not even to me. I've seen some of the comedians, and I'm like,
they don't pay. It's a lot of LA based comics that have moved to LA now. I don't know, from just being
they're trying to make that the second Hollywood for comedy.
Yeah, and I think it is that.
Yeah.
I think ever since, you know, some of the white comics,
Joe
Rogan, I think Tom Segura, Tony Hinchcliffe, I think all of them, now that they moved there, more comedy is happening in Austin, and
but
so
they were, you know, they call it weird, you know, and so
I wouldn't say weird. I would say it's more
Austin is weird.
Weird like how though?
Have you ever just drove around Austin?
No.
That's why you don't understand.
Well, explain it to me.
They'd be out there. It'd just be a man probably got $1 million in his bank account. Be sitting on the side of the road, laying down with a dog, eating Cheetos, just doing weird stuff.
That's not weird to me.
That is weird.
That's not weird to me.
Look, I'm talking about that is weird.
That's not weird to me.
Why you doing that dog like that? That dog don't need to be out there like that. Why he got to suffer and he got a collar? He don't even want that on his neck. He just want to be a dog. He on the side of the road. You ain't. That is strange.
Okay, maybe it's strange.
What is the definition of weird?
I don't know, because I don't.
You need to go to Austin and just drive around.
See, but listen, I'm from LA, and I've seen
crack being smoked for the first time.
In LA?
Yes. And I was like, oh, that's such a pretty color. I'm from McKinney, so I don't know no better. I see this little homeless man sitting there, and I thought he had a little light or something, and it turned like a orange, yellowish.
Bowl part.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that is so pretty. And my friend said, crap, you don't get at the station of Bowl. We were there for a convention with Hope Flood.
Oh my God! Hope Flood.
What was it? It was Female Comics Rocks at the time, but now it's just Comics Rocks. But it was like the first one she had.
Hope Flood, you need to knock it off. You need to Hope Flood. Stop taking these people money. You need to knock it off.
No. It was. I benefited from it. Like I'm saying I benefited from it because it was the first one that she did. It was of all females, and it was an opportunity. I met. I got to do the J Spot, and then I got to meet. I ended up doing a show with quite a few people. We got opportunities that we wouldn't have normally if I just went by myself and didn't know. I was actually hitting spots and clubs and networking, meeting people. So if you go for what it is, it's like for me, it was my opportunity to check out LA, network with people outside of LA, like because I ended up getting shows from people that were like from Mississippi or other places, and it was good for even the sisterhood.
So Marcus came on the show.
Marcus?
You know Marcus.
I love Marcus. I love Marcus. I know Marcus when Marcus was this Marcus.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud of him. He's doing amazing.
Yeah. He told a story about doing the whole flood, and he was like, he was gonna open. They was gonna give him some time with Lunel, open for Lunel. He said he opened for Lunel at the J spot. That was his winning, and he had to run her down for the money that he won for the competition. He was like, it was a mess.
I mean, that might have happened. I mean, I'm gonna give you my experience. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's this industry is not of God. You know what I'm saying? If you think you coming in this industry and people gonna do you right and treat you right and have a good heart for you and make sure they pay you and not leave the comedy club while you on the stage and you didn't get paid, or y'all you got your deposit, or you drive all the way to Louisiana with somebody else in Houma, Louisiana, and you get there and there's chains on the door, and then the man calls
That
you.
happened for you?
Yes.
What?
That happened to me.
What do you mean? What happened?
The comedian's name is Success. He had worked with the dude before. He's like, hey, it's a show in Houma, and that's not too far from New Orleans, right? Houma, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
And so we drove. That was and the whole time we're driving, the dude is calling, checking in. Okay, good. And then we even picked up Piper. Piper was he's from Baton Rouge. Okay. So we was like, yeah, Piper, so Piper followed us. He was in his own car, so he followed us. We driving. And then I said, hey, the dude ain't called in about an hour or so. Check in, make sure, just let him know how close we are. And he starts calling, dude ain't picking up. Then he calling, dude's not picking up. And then we get there, it's chains on the door. We don't have no hotel.
See.
We don't have, and this was during the, you remember Katrina. This was after Katrina. So they still had a lot of people that was, going in the hotel. So apparently we go to a hotel. The woman sees, and we're trying to get a room. I feel like baby Jesus. We're trying to get a room. And the lady was like, oh, well, we don't have any rooms. I said, ma'am, it ain't but 2 cars. And and then she was like, well, people been stealing furniture out. Like, people were actually taking furniture, like.
From the hotels?
From the hotel. So they had nailed down everything. And so we ended up having to put the money together. It was like way too much money that we had to pay for this room for one night, because we couldn't drive. It wasn't no more driving. Mm-hmm. We had already been on the road all day. Then the dude gonna say that I think he called him 2 days later and said a deer hit his car. And he was gonna send us some money. I'm still waiting on my money, sir.
See, this is the part of comedy.
It's worse stories than that. Like, it's one time somebody handed me some money. Like, and that's another thing, when they oh, good job, and they put the money in your hand and they walk off. Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah. Let me count this in front of you.
One time, I'm not gonna say, but one time the person put my money in their hand, and I was like, and they walked off. I said, hey, wait 1 second, because it was like they rolled it up like one of them cocaine. Like, they roll up the money.
Like in the little, like a cigarette?
Yeah, like it was rolled up like a little, like how people do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he rolled it up, and I was like, so I unrolled it. They were supposed to pay me $100, right? I unrolled it. It was a $20 bill. And I said, oh, it's the more, and I gave it back. I said, supposed to be 4 more with them. That's all I got. I'm going to help you out another time. Then they just walked off. I said, boy. So now I got to, I'm more, I need my money up front. I need to.
See, and this is the part of comedy that nobody understands, that people just think it's all about what's going on stage, and it's not.
Stage
it's
so is terrible. So much more.
It's so much more.
And then being a woman on stage, sometimes people be like, oh, well, you a woman, females. Let me tell you something. Women do not like women as comedians a lot of times. You got to win them over.
Oh, you talking about the audience?
The audience member.
Women audience members.
Yeah, so a lot of times dudes will be like, oh, and I hate this. Matter of fact, let me look at it. If you are a host for a show, please stop saying, are y'all ready for a female? I hate that.
You don't like that?
Because when I walk up on stage, you're going to see I'm a female. Hey, you don't have to tell them. Yeah, you're not hyping them up about me. You could just say, hey, this lovely lady come. That's cool. Y'all, now, are you ready?
Because they never say, "Are you ready for a male
Are
comedian?"
you ready for a male comedian?
They never.
Are you ready for a trans? We have a pan. We have a bisexual. They not saying none of that. So
Yeah.
don't let my jokes indicate. But I don't mind. Hey, this lovely lady coming up next. I'm cool with that. Oh, y'all. I mean, it's a female, y'all. Come on, a woman, a female. Ladies, y'all like female, don't you? Then first off, right when they get up there, if your clothes, if they think that your man is, and that don't happen. But I'm saying that some of the lady comedians, some women are like, oh, who she thinks she is, because she might be dressed provocatively, right? So they don't like that. They don't. I seen one woman looking at me, and I did chip toe. I hit my toe before I walked on and chipped off some of my toenail polish. So the whole time I could see her looking at my big toe. I can't even concentrate. And I just called, ma'am, yes, my toenail. I had to just go ahead and get it out my spirit. Because she kept staring at my big toe. Like, lady, I know this. And then she talking about, girl. So I'm seeing them. I see y'all. This ain't TV. I see you talking about me.
Yeah.
What the what? Come on.
Yeah.
What the what? Man, I see you, ma'am. I see you. What do you?
And I don't know. I know you're not going. You don't want to say the name, and we don't have to say the name. But you were telling me a story the other day about a comic that pulled you to the side because you were being too funny, or you had. And this is another thing that people don't understand and don't see.
So, and that's it's kind of a because I don't want to this. I feel confident on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
I feel confident with my craft. I'm still learning about my craft. I've been told that I'm funny. That being said, I'm still learning, and I will still get information from people and everything. But sometimes, and this one dude named Tim Jackson, he wrote down, he said, stop waiting for other people to put you on. They are not trying to put you on because you scare them. Because you can knock them off, right? And I never thought about it like that. So there are times where I'm in a weird position because people don't know who I am. I'm funny enough to be the headliner, but I don't have the audience for a headliner. Matter of fact, I will be headlining this Tuesday, February 27th at the Addison Improv, and I want so much for this to pop off so they know that I do have a draw, but so I'm strong enough to be a headliner, right? Cool to do the feature. I'm good at hosting. I can do all spots with the time that I'm given. But even within 10 minutes of that 10 minutes, I could be a powerful 10 minutes. She doing too much. And so they're basically telling me to diminish myself, but I'm not going to do that. I don't think I should. If anything, if I make, and I think you're doing a disservice to the audience that you get weaker comics or comics that are not strong because you want to make yourself feel stronger. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a disservice to the audience that pay good money to watch a performance, and you purposely put somebody on that's not ready to be the feature or to be a host, and they still really open micers, and you putting them on, and you're making that show weaker because you want to appear to be stronger. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Work on your craft, sir.
Yeah.
Do you work?
Can you mind telling the story about what happened? You didn't gotta say the name.
No, it's happened to me more than one time.
Okay.
So, but it is just in a situation where I've worked a weekend or what have you, and then the person came back and was just kind of like, you know who name is on the marquee, right? You need to remember that. Like, I do know who name is on the marquee, but I've been told that, yeah. Like, it basically, but they never said that to some of them. And I used to not want to do the male female thing, but this is a male dominated position. I understand that, but sometimes they don't mind if a woman is funny. Oh, she's cute. That's good. But if you're a woman that can go head to head with the guys, they don't like it. Mm-hmm. And if they feel some type of way about it, and I can go head to head, and I'm not being cocky. I'm confident that I can go head to head. I've had people call me out, and I'm like, okay, let's do a show together. You're not gonna scare me.
Yeah.
I said, let's do a show together. We'll put a show on, and we'll see who gets the most laughs.
Yeah.
Or I call them out. I'm like, you want to do a versus?
Mm.
Like me versus you. You want to?
Yeah.
And then oh yeah, we good. Don't ever hear nothing back from them. Cause you know I'm gonna eat your lunch. I'm gonna eat your lunch, boy. I'm a big girl for a reason. Peanut butter and jelly all day. Yeah, I'm eating.
I'm curious to know or get your feelings on Monique and everything that's happening with her right now.
I think Monique is a talent, amazing talent. I do think she has some mental work, some trauma that she needs to discuss or go through personally. Like sometimes some of her stuff is coming out and it's I don't think it's benefiting her. You know what I'm saying? Like even like recently with her son, her oldest son, and you can see that young man's hurt because he said it's not about, I don't know if he, but he actually went on. He's like, my mom had mentioned me and said that we're back cool. We're not. And that's because if you are the only child that is separate from his other brothers and your husband, you give him so much reverence. And I understand. I don't know how to word that, but I'm saying she gives him so much, her husband, she gives him so much reverence because she's never had a man that treat her that well. Okay, that's fine, but you also too have to acknowledge other people and things going on in your life. Your son, that's your seed. You know what I mean? And I know they say, I don't know if I could do it because my children are my children, and they will part from me. The purpose of me raising my children is not for me to have a stronghold over them. It's for me to raise them to the point that they're so independent that they can go out and I know they're going to be okay. That's me as a mother. But when you have a child that when he's 14, you give him to his father, and then you say, okay, I'm, and you acknowledge other women taking care of him as the mother. And then you have the opportunity, and she says it, she said, I thank his stepmom for stepping up and raising my son because I was at the point of I was trying to make this career, and she tries to throw money at him. But then this same woman has children by another man, a set of twins and another baby, and you're at their games, you're doing everything you can do for them. What's the difference?
I think, because just thinking about my own kids, right? My son is 13. My baby girl is 3, right? My son, he didn't get the he got everything that he needed, but it was like he didn't get the excess of everything because back then I just didn't have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you didn't have it.
I didn't have it. And so my daughter, now I'm doing a little bit better. My son is still benefiting, but not as early as my daughter is. You know what I mean?
But is your son still benefiting?
Yeah, he's still benefiting.
Are you physically present with your son?
Yeah.
So okay, let me explain. So I got a 26-year-old, a 22-year-old, and my baby, he's about to be 9. The 26-year-old mother is different than the 22-year-old mother. Is different than the 9-year. I was a different mother for each one of those children.
Yeah.
I'm still their mother, and I might have not had as much with my daughter than I did with my youngest, but my daughter, I still gave her the best that I had at that time.
Right, but she probably looking at your youngest and was like, when I was her age, I didn't get this, I didn't get to get that, I didn't get to.
And if she has but even with that, well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I've been broke this whole time, so you ain't gotta worry about that. I've been broke the whole time. You ain't got. But what I'm saying is the love is the same. And my daughter, like I was a different person. I was younger, but so there's benefits as me as a younger mom. There's benefits to me as an older mom, but I'm still their mother. I didn't like my daughter just give her, and then my boys treat them different because they're boys. You see what I'm saying? But each child, I raise a child based on that child and how that child is. Like people are different, children are different, like their temperaments, all that. But what I'm saying is, if my daughter ever came to me and said, "Mama, I feel like you treated my brothers better. I felt like you didn't give me enough time. And Mama, can you go ahead and just start spending more time with me?" You know what I would do? I would spend more time with her. I did not know that I did that to you. And if that hurt you or offended you, let me correct myself. if she told me that with her own words, if she never said it and I never knew, that'd be different. This boy said, I didn't need your material things because she had the money. So all she was doing was giving him money. She didn't give him her time. That's what I'm saying. That's the difference. And if he says, you have a granddaughter now, she's not even acknowledging. Yeah. So so that's what I'm saying is if he's telling you, mama, you treated me different than my brothers, I just want some time with you. Are you doing all the, because he said, well, I don't know if it's true or not, but it seemed true based on what she had said and what he said, that he was like, I gave you money, which that's not enough. If he said it's not enough, it's not enough.
Yeah, I think with kids it is time. And my own speaking of my own circumstance, right? It's my stepson, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I came into his life, I think when he was 3 or 4, and I got twin daughters with another lady that I fought tooth and nail to try to even get time with them, and she was not having it. Their mother,
right?
My twins, she was not having it.
Out of your control.
She didn't want me to have nothing to do with them, whatever. But I think when my twins grow up, they're gonna be like, I didn't spend no time with them, right? They're gonna say, I didn't spend no time with them. They're not gonna understand me and their mom.
Who told you they're not gonna understand?
I don't think they're. I don't think kids understand.
They do.
I don't think kids understand.
That is not true. People underestimate what children ask them. And the thing about it is when they get old enough, when they get old enough that they can reach out to you, and this is what, if you try to make excuses, there's no excuses needed. Hey, I wasn't able to. Can we start fresh right now? And you give that child an opportunity to decide whether they want to or not. Then they might just still bring it up, and if they do, it's okay because they're trying to get all that feeling out of them. Allow them to. That's what I'm saying. Like sometimes people be underestimating a child or what, or even some men be like, well, I'll give you money. Ain't that enough? It's not. Kids don't even want money. You know what they want? Just come by and throw a football with me. Can we eat hot dogs? I mean, they don't even care what they're doing. But at that time is important. And money's good. I don't know, don't get me wrong, but money's good. But how many rich people and they say, my dad worked so much, I didn't have any time. I hate my dad.
Mm-hmm.
He never cared about me. And this man is thinking, I love my children so much, I work so much so that my children can have an opportunity. Now that's what the man is thinking, because a man is a provider. That's his thought is, if I'm putting in money for a child, that means I love a child. Child don't understand that. They think that you hate them. Did you not spend no time with them? Ask a kid. If you ask a child, they'll tell you. They're just little people. I don't know why people make it harder than what it is. A child is just a little person.
Yeah. So I guess I'm thinking about my own circumstances, from my dad not being there and then me not being there with my twins.
And so with your dad not being there, he chose that?
Yeah.
Okay, so he chose that, right?
Let me not say he chose that. But when we live 45 minutes from him, I would see him every now and then.
So if you had an opportunity to tell your dad, "Hey, Dad, I wish I could have had," what would you tell your dad?
Listen, when I was in college, right, my dad said to me, the reason why he didn't spend a lot of time with us is because his ex-wife was always guilt-tripping him on wanting to spend time with us versus she already had kids and their kids, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, I didn't know that. I thought she always liked us, you know what I mean? But for him, every time we came over and left, it was always an issue, and he didn't want to deal with that. And so now I'm in college. All of us are grown. All the kids are grown, right? Mm-hmm. I was like, you know what? Let's spend time together. I understand that. Let's start from here. And it was never consistent after that. Now I'm grown now.
Because he didn't know how to be consistent.
Grown.
Man ain't never been consistent.
But I'm just saying, like, because I accepted, okay, fine. You know what I mean? I understand whatever you was going through with your ex-wife, my ex-mom. I understand that. Let's start now. I'm grown. We can fix all that. You know what I mean? And it turned out to be nothing. It was the same old thing from when I was a kid.
He was an old dog. I mean, say no old dog, new tricks. Like,
But if
so
you
in his
trying to
mind,
fix it,
how can you fix something you don't even know is broken? Because in his mind, he was like, well, I had to keep my peace at my home. Had to keep peace. So that's why I did what I did. So you got to understand that, and that's all I got to say.
And I said, cool.
And then for him, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. Like he don't know. He don't know no better. Like he don't, like sometimes people don't know. Everybody is don't have the motherly instinct.
Mm-hmm.
I think Monique necessarily, because I think that she associates the younger children with her husband, and she has so much love for her husband. That's why those boys get so much love. See the difference?
I don't think so. I think once she got established, she could start saying no to certain jobs, and so that yes, she's probably spending more time with those kids.
You
because
really believe that?
I do, because when you're trying to get it, so
she was still trying to get it, but that's what I'm saying. Like listen, when she could have did the same thing when he got older. Then when he became, because what's the difference between him being an adult now? She don't have no respect. She can say, hey son, come live with us, come stay with us.
He's 30. He got his own family.
Before that, when because the little boys, they grown now. They 20.
Right.
Yes. Them kids is like 20 years old.
Oh, okay.
Monique been with that man forever. When she had the fort, she sent her son off to be with the dad when he was 14.
Mm-hmm.
Then she was living her life doing Monique, and that was free. Now that with daddy or whatever she called him, when he even told her there's some things you're not gonna do. He put his foot down, and you gonna take care of the kid. You could easily say, hey, do you want to come over here with your brothers? She didn't do that, because guess what? That's their unit. And he even said one time, he said Monique has three sons. She didn't say 4. He didn't say 4. So if your son, why would you? I would correct my husband. You can't say that I only have 3. That's my son too. And so, but she's not gonna correct him, because that's her daddy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I do think, like, even on stage, she kind of says things. I don't know. She says things that is not for the stage a little bit. You know what I'm saying? She hasn't worked it out. It's trauma in her that she hasn't actually worked out. A lot of times when you put stuff on the stage, you've kind of worked it out. You've kind of had peace with it, so that you can turn it into a joke. But some of the stuff she has not worked out, and she don't have peace with it. So when she says it, you know how they say the messenger? Why don't people accept a lot of stuff that she says? It's because how she says it and who it's coming from. Think about it.
I think
even when she did the Shay Shay, you could watch it. It was cool, but even when she was talking about with the D.L. Hughley thing, that was such a misunderstanding. In one point, like when she said that they asked her kill, steal, or whatever it was, the 3 things, right? And she was like, "Don't do that." And then when he answered the phone, he said, "Yeah." Well, that's what we do. Well, he's telling you that's what y'all do. That's what they do. But then it was never broadcast. They never put the show on.
She said that she had to do a cease and desist.
He said she might have did the cease and desist, but it was never broadcast. So, I mean, she said she did cease and desist, but he also said that he told them don't broadcast it because she didn't want that part in, right? Either way, the cease and desist and both of them basically were doing the same thing, and then you would think that would be enough, right? But she didn't like how he said it. She didn't like, so you don't like how he said it, but he did what he did what you asked him to do. See what I'm saying? So, and you could have had that conversation with him personally, but now it's this. And then you still talking about stuff from 10 years ago.
I think she's hurt though. More than
exactly.
Anything.
So where does she? You know what you need to do with hurt?
I think she's.
You
hurt.
need to go to therapy for hurt. Like you keep. It's like that's why people agree with what she's saying, but she's saying it over and over again without a solution. No solution. And so that's the thing. Like that. You know, I might be wrong. Like I said, I don't think so. But like there needs to be some healing going on, and then even like the Oprah Winfrey stuff. Oprah don't care. If she's made it clear, she don't care. So I can't, if you don't care about me, that's even in my own personal life. There are people that I know that will never like me. I ain't never did nothing to them. They just don't like me. Guess what? If you don't like me, that's good. I remove myself from you because I'm not going to have that negative energy coming towards me. For what? Where am I going to get the benefit? That's negative. She's feeding off a negative.
But let me ask you this.
And she wants a particular apology that she's never going to get.
And let me
You're
ask
not going
you
to get
this.
that apology from your brother. You're not going to get that apology from your mother. Those apologies you're looking for, you're never going to get them.
Yes, I don't know if that is correct or not, but
the way you want them,
listen,
you're not going to get them.
Yes, but let me ask you this. Those people who you say don't like you, what if they had the power to not be able to, for they could say, hey, don't book Angela. Don't book Angela. Don't put Angela on stage.
It has happened.
I'm just saying, like, what if those same people who hate you had the power to do that?
It has happened.
Okay.
And guess what? They not my God. My God is better. So even if you think you blocking me right here, that's why God will have an open door over me over here. I'm not worried about you blocking me. You really think as a matter of fact, you know what happens when you block me? You messing up your own blessings. So block me if you want to, because when you block me, you blocking your own blessings. When you could have helped me, that just makes more good come to you. So when you block me, you're blocking yourself. So I don't care. And it's happened. It's people unintentionally block me. I mean, it's okay because, and you know what? And like I said, that's where I learned from this comedy game. There are times where I thought I deserved something or I should have gotten something, and it just probably wasn't in my time yet. I probably wasn't mature enough to handle it. I didn't have the material yet. I didn't have the forthwith, right? Like with people throwing stuff at me, hecklers, I might not have been ready for a heckler. There's different things that I might not have been ready for. And if it came to me at that time, I would have dropped the ball. Throw me the ball now. I'll be ready. You see what I'm saying? Because I've developed a thicker skin. And I'm telling you right now, I be flunking tests out. God be throwing tests at you all the time. And I told God, and be careful what you ask God to help you with. My temper. I have a temper. And I said, God, help me with my temper. So you know what he gonna do when he help
test you?
He gonna test you. I got a 43, a 67, and a.
You said help me with it.
Oh
so.
my gosh! I flunked, boy. When ooh, that I had to do that semester over. I did not get no credits. I did not get no credit, and I asked for that. And then I remembered I asked for it, and I said, and right when the test was in, and you know when you get tested, because right after you cuss them out and taste good, and you sit back in your car, you like, dang, I wasn't supposed to say nothing, right? Like, I was supposed to just say, I wasn't supposed to pull her hurt, right? I was supposed to let her walk off. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to sling her down on the ground like that. F. Can't return. But that's what I'm saying. Like, everything is not a bad thing. Sometimes you think some of those misfortunes it's fortunate, because I've been knocked out of something and it moved me to somewhere else. I met some amazing people that I would have never met them if I wasn't directed to that way. I've met people I thought were amazing and so wonderful, and come to find out they was dirty dogs, and they just talk good, know how to smell good and smell sweet. They good on the eyes and demons in the soul. You see what I'm saying? Like, so, and God was probably protecting me from those people because I wasn't fortified yet. And if I went into that, that's what I think in LA, a lot of times people go to LA and they think they're going to get all this stuff and do all these things, and they're not ready for the dragon. You know what I mean? And you get slayed and you're not ready.
Listen, LA is, if you don't know who you are in LA, you can get sucked in, because everything that you want, everything that you want to be, or everything that you want, everybody you want to hang around, every party that you can imagine is there. It's there, and it's happening on a Wednesday or Tuesday. You know what I mean? Just a regular every day.
Even in New York, like, it's
See, I don't know
crazy.
New York.
I went to New York back in November, and in one night, let me tell you something. one night I looked to the corner of my eye, Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart. If you could, it was so many comedians like up like the epsilon of comedians just walking around like going nothing. It was a club called The Stand. I mean, there's a bar called The Stand. That's where a lot of comedians they hang out there. And I was just like, but I'm not I don't get geeked off of beating people. Because when my mama told me Holly Berry Poots, I was like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they just like us, so I don't get like in awe of when I see people. But I was just like, wow. And if anything, it just made me okay. This is what you want. It was just a reminder of. But you see them, but also too, I was looking at all the other people, watching them. Now I'm a people watcher, so I'm watching, and these people are acting like idiots trying to just get near him just to touch him, or some of the women was trying to, hey, let him know here's my, just to be near him and give him. They thinking if they give him something or do something for him that they can get some stage time. Like, is that not terrible? You don't even know your worth. They don't even know their worth, they value, and I think I know mine. I just
What you mean you think you
no,
know?
I know mine. But if it's a world tour, no, I'm playing.
Are you?
I
Yeah.
am. God got me.
And here's the thing. When you go out to LA, your morals are going to be tested because everybody is so hungry to make it. Everybody is so, I just want the opportunity. But you don't know this opportunity is coming with some other, it can, not all the times, but it can come with some other stuff that you don't want to do. But it's the opportunity. Hey, you're going to be on TV. You're going to do this.
I've
you're
turned
going to
down
be
some things. I mean, I'm just saying, you're right. You're right. But that's why I said, like, some lessons I learned are not ones I actually had to go through. My mom used to tell me all the time, the best lesson learned is one you don't have to go through yourself. You watch how people move and you watch what they do. I've seen comics be like, hey, man, whatever you need me to do, be on your show, just let me know. And I'm looking at this, like, this is a dude that I used to respect. Like, I'm watching him and they telling the headliner this kind of stuff, or or they figure out what the headliner habit is. If they got a habit, they'll bring them gifts. Like, you bringing another grown man a gift? Like, it baffles my mind.
Yeah.
But that's because they're willing to do what I'm not going to do.
Yeah.
And I've even had time, like I've had people say, "Hey, Andrew, I want to do a skit with you. You're gonna be doing this and this," and it's disrespectful to me. I have children. I'm not gonna do it. Like, I'm cool with if my kids think I'm fake. Like, if they look at me like I'm somebody, that's all I need. And I know some people say that, but I mean that. So if God has it to where I can touch certain people and it's just a small realm that I get to touch and I make a difference, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Now, if he says that I'm gonna increase my territory, I'm cool with that. Whatever is in his plan, that's what I will do. But I'm not gonna lose my soul for fame. I just can't. It's just not me. I've just never been like that, and I think it's because I'm number 6 of 15 kids. Like I've never ran to be accepted. Like, we understand that I'm born and raised in McKinney, Texas. My mom was the first Black to graduate from McKinney High School. We were the first Black to move on the white side of town. So I've never been in a position where I felt like felt like I belonged anywhere. Like, when I'm in classrooms, I didn't feel like I belonged in the classrooms. When I was around Black people, I didn't feel like if it's a group of Black people, I didn't feel like I belonged around Black because I didn't know all the stuff. They had Jerry curls. They was popping gum, eating hot Cheetos. I didn't do all that. We didn't know about that stuff. Like, so I never fit in. But my mama told me I didn't have to. And I was always cool. I was cool with that. I didn't have to fit in. You know what I'm saying? So even with this world, sometimes I'm a loner in comedy. Not a loner. Everybody, I like people. I'm very friendly with everybody, but it's not like it's a group that I always hang out with. I don't have that luxury because I don't, there's a group of comedians, they all smoke weed. It's a group after shows. There's a group of comedians, they all drink. It's a group of comedians that are like they all have habits and like they have common denominators. I don't have that denominator. After the show, 9 times 10, I might talk, hang out a little bit. I'm going home to my babies. I'm going home to my family. So, you know what I'm saying? I think it's embedded in me, my limits. I joke about it, but I know my limits. And if it's something that I know that my son would be embarrassed, either one of my sons as their mother would be embarrassed that to call me their mother, I'm not doing it.
So would you, the last question.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have played Precious in the movie?
Dog, why? I'm sad that you think that I could be precious.
No, I'm just, no. Not that you could be Precious, but I'm saying that role was kind of demoralizing.
Which precious?
Monique.
Monique. Oh no, to play the mother.
Yeah,
I could play that role
because she was a crackhead. She was
a bad mother.
Yeah.
She was. I think I could play that role. That to me, that
you thought I was saying Precious. The no. I'm saying, speaking of Monique.
I am drinking water all day for the rest of the day.
No, we talking about Monique. I'm just saying.
This is water.
I'm saying, would you have played her because that was a role that it could be perceived as embarrassing. You know what I mean?
Well, no. I'm saying embarrassing something where it's something that is just against my morals. Like that portrayal of a mother of a mother that's nothing like me. You know what I'm saying? That's different. Mm-hmm. I'm saying if it was something where they say I had to walk butt naked or do something, I'm saying doing something that's against me.
Right.
I would not do it.
So let me give you an example. You just said somebody asked you to do a skit and you was like, nah. That's the same thing when somebody asks you to play Monique's role.
But Monique's role is a character that is a bad mother.
Mm-hmm.
Now if they had her doing anything sexual or something like that that's outside of that they had to represent, I wouldn't do it. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Like if it's like say, dog, I saw your mama titties on the you know what I'm saying? I'm not going. I mean, they saw the cigarette bird. They saw the black and mild bird. Say, dog, the mama titties was out. You know, I'm not going. That's what I mean. Something where something sexual.
Then you're not with it.
Something I'm not gonna. I wouldn't do that. Or just something that if I told my jokes, some of my jokes I make fun of my kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had one joke that was a good joke, and my brother, it was kind of about my brother because him and my sister they had to ride the short bus for a little bit.
Okay.
Right, and so my mom, I told a joke that. I'm not gonna say which one, but I told the joke that my mom said that it was a limo because my mom made them feel so special that it was a yellow limo and that we wasn't nothing because we had to walk. We was, but they were special because they had a limo, had the ramp, and people thought that joke was hilarious. My brother was in the audience. Right when I walked off the stage, he said, "Don't you ever do that joke again." I was like, "It's just a." I don't touch your hair. I said, but you normal now. You like don't nobody know. Don't nobody. I was in special ed too. I got paperwork. They put the paperwork on me. But he was so mad out of respect to my brother. I didn't do it again. But I love that joke. But I kind of moved. I kind of embellished because I told my mom I was, and because I was I had to be in speech and all that kind of stuff. So I embellished my story. I took some of these and put it in mine, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he was so mad.
Don't you ever never.
I said. You might not got all that out of you yet. You acting a little autistic right now. I think I might be a little smidgen. I might need
on the spectrum.
I do.
Really?
I do. I think I'm functional.
You functional?
Yeah. Because I will look off in a minute. If I don't like you, I say what I think immediately. They be feeling bad. Told one man his eyes, I said, your eyes is different sizes. He was like, whatever's in there is going to come out. So
Oh, that mercy.
you know they got that Love on the Spectrum. Have you seen it yet?
No.
On Netflix, they got Love on the Spectrum, and I watched that show, and it looked regular, it looked normal to me, but they will tell you how they feel. They be like, "You ugly, I can't date you." They whatever. I'm looking for a princess. Whatever they think, and they in their mind how they, and they don't be they'll look down. But like if you somebody my one friend says I have a bubble, and I thought she was lying. And one time she videoed me. I said, "Dang."
What you mean a bubble?
Like after I'm an introvert, really. You know what I'm saying? But I could be social. So after I've had my full of people, I can't take no more. I will. I just sit in a corner, and if you walk up on me, I just be like, I ain't gonna. Or if you give me a bad, I won't even look. I won't give you eye contact.
Really?
I will start looking a little. I will look a little different, especially if you somebody. If I feel like people got stuff on them, like you can feel their energy or whatever. And if you just and it's a lot of people, they be smiling in my face. And I'm like, and they keep talking to me. I just start like, I don't want to catch none of that.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Angela Walker.
Yes.
Tell the people where they can find you on social, all that good stuff.
On social media, on Instagram, I need to change my Instagram name because it's apparently I was told it was too long, but it's comedian Angela Walker, and Angela spelled with the IA, Angelia, and on Facebook, Angela Walker. So I keep saying it's spelled Angelia. So and on TikTok,
Tickety.
because I don't. It's THEE Angela Walker. I don't really use. I've got to do my. I need to improve on my social media.
Okay.
That's me being honest. But if you want, I will be at the Addison Improv on February 27th. I'm so excited. I'm actually doing it with a crew of amazing black women. It's going to be an all black women show. I'm so geeked up about it because these women are fire. My girl Keelana Spiller, Tasha D, and G Baby will be my support. I will be headlining on February 27th at the Addison Improv. So if you can come out, check it out. You won't be disappointed.
That's what's up,
Yes.
man.
And thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
This was fun.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming.
I'll come back.
Okay, bet.
He said, I'm going to be 10 pounds smaller since he said, you got that I was like, what?
No, I didn't mean.
Would you play as Precious?
No, not. We were
Would you
talking
play-
about Monique.
Would you play as Monique eating them ham hocks? He just said Jill Scott on Wives Club or what? I'm just.
Why'd I get married?
I could have did that.
You would have played Jill?
Yeah. Trying to get up out. You can see it, right?
Yeah, I can see that.
yeah.
I can see that. Yeah.
I would have beat that woman up. Yeah, that's good.
Yo, but thank you. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. Hey, y'all, when y'all see Angela Walker, come to the shows. Check her out. She's funny as hell. Thank you again. I appreciate it. Yo, man, this has been the Tap In Podcast. Thank y'all for tapping in. Holla.